You wake up a few minutes before your alarm, not because you are energized, but because your mind is already running through numbers. Bills due, rent or mortgage, credit cards, groceries that cost more than they did last year, a paycheck that disappears faster than it arrives. Maybe you're earning $45,000, maybe $85,000, maybe well into six figures. And somehow, the anxiety feels the same. The pressure feels strangely similar across incomes. You work, you get paid, you pay everyone else, and the cycle resets. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. If your income stopped tomorrow, how long would your life stay the same? For millions of Americans, the answer is measured in weeks, not years. Today we're going to break down why that fragility exists, and how the modern salary system quietly keeps millions of people financially stuck, regardless of how much they earn. Let's start with something that almost nobody talks about. The moment your paycheck hits your account, it's already gone. Not literally, but functionally. Rent or mortgage, car payment, insurance, subscriptions, student loans. Before you've made a single conscious decision about your money, a machine of fixed obligations has already claimed the majority of it. This is what behavioral economists call mental accounting. The brain tends to categorize money based on how it arrives and how it leaves. When income comes in as one number but exits in dozens of small automated fragments spread across the month, your mind genuinely struggles to register the net loss. You don't feel broke, you just feel busy. And that's precisely the problem. In 2025, the average US rent surpasses $1,800 per month nationally, and that number climbs sharply in metro areas. Healthcare premiums continue rising faster than wages. The subscription economy alone and streaming platforms, software tools, digital services quietly drains hundreds of dollars monthly from millions of households. None of these feel like major expenses individually. Together, they're a structural leak you never fully see. And then there's debt. The median student loan balance in the US still sits above $37,000 per borrower. The average monthly payment on a new car loan exceeds $700. These aren't lifestyle choices anymore. They're entry costs, the price of participating in modern professional life. And here's what makes them particularly dangerous. They transform your future labor into a present obligation. You're not working for what you want, you're working for what you already spent. This is where the confusion between income and wealth becomes critical. Wealth is assets minus liabilities. It is not your salary, it is not your title. Federal Reserve surveys show that a meaningful percentage of households earning over $100,000 per year report difficulty covering unexpected expenses, indicating that income level alone does not guarantee liquidity or financial resilience. They look prosperous, they feel financially fragile. The income is real, but it flows straight through into obligations, and what's left behind isn't wealth. It's just comfort. And comfort, it turns out, is one of the most effective traps ever designed. Before we go further, if you are enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel and tells YouTube that you're interested in this kind of content. Now let's continue. Here's something worth considering. In the mid-20th century, a larger share of middle-class households were able to support a family, purchase a home, and save on a single primary income, a structural reality that has shifted significantly over the past 5 decades. Because what changed wasn't just inflation, what changed was the definition of a normal life. 2 cars, private school, international vacations, regular restaurant meals, constant device upgrades. Each of these individually seems reasonable. Collectively, they represent a standard of living that demands constant high income just to sustain itself. And every time your income grows, that standard quietly grows with it. This is the hedonic treadmill in action. Humans are wired to adapt. A raise feels extraordinary for about 3 months. Then it becomes the new baseline, and the lifestyle adjusts upward to match. The salary increases, the expenses become permanent, and the margin, the gap between what you earn and what you spend, stays exactly where it was. Sometimes it shrinks. The 19th century economist Thorstein Veblen identified this pattern long before social media amplified it. He called it conspicuous consumption, the tendency to spend not based on need, but based on what signals status to others. Today, that mechanism runs at an unprecedented scale. Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok have turned social comparison into a 24-hour feed. The top 20% of earners don't compare themselves to the median. They compare upward, to the people just above them. And that comparison never resolves, because there's always someone above. The result is what some researchers call golden handcuffs. A professional earning $120,000 a year with a $3,000 mortgage, private school tuition above $20,000 per child, car leases, and a lifestyle built to match their income is not financially free. They're anchored. The higher the income, the higher the obligations built around it, and the more terrifying the idea of stepping away becomes. Research in behavioral finance suggests that financial stress often correlates more strongly with expense obligations than with absolute income levels. Debt is the engine that keeps this machine running. Student loans are often framed as an investment, as good debt, and that framing is worth questioning. When you borrow to attend university, you're essentially selling a portion of your future labour before you've earned it. As of 2025, total US student debt exceeded $1.7 trillion. This means many graduates enter the workforce with mandatory fixed payments that reduce early career flexibility and increase dependence on stable income. Mortgages work similarly. A 30-year mortgage is, at its core, a 30-year income pledge. You're not just buying a house, you're committing your future earning capacity to a financial institution for 3 decades. After the post-2022 interest rate hikes, millions of potential buyers were priced out, and millions of existing homeowners found themselves locked into either high rates or homes they couldn't afford to sell. Financial institutions are structured to benefit from long-term, predictable repayment streams, which means stability, not independence, is the core of the lending model. Consumer credit completes the picture. Credit card balances in the US reached record highs in 2025. Buy now, pay later services have normalized borrowing for everyday purchases: groceries, clothing, electronics. What this represents, stripped of its marketing language, is the monetization of impatience. Modern capitalism is structurally dependent on people selling their future labor in advance. The modern credit-based economy is deeply intertwined with consumer borrowing, making debt a central, though often normalized, component of economic growth. And this is where something deeper becomes visible. Financially fragile employees are, from a purely structural perspective, more predictable employees. A person with a mortgage, car loans, and a child in private school cannot easily walk away from a job. They cannot afford to negotiate too hard, take risks, or say no. Financial dependency and professional dependency reinforce each other, and the system, without any explicit coordination, benefits from that arrangement. This isn't a conspiracy, it's an incentive structure, and understanding the difference matters. Roughly 70% of US GDP is driven by consumer spending. The economy, as it's currently designed, requires people to keep buying. Every upgrade, the new phone, the bigger apartment, the newer car, isn't just a personal decision. It's a contribution to a machine that needs constant input to keep running. The cultural narrative around upgrading, improving, and consuming more isn't accidental. It's the operating logic of the system you live inside. The Stoics understood something about this over 2,000 years ago. Epictetus, who was born into slavery and later became one of antiquity's most respected philosophers, taught that freedom doesn't come from accumulating more, it comes from reducing dependency. The less you need to maintain your life, the less power any single income source holds over you. That idea is as radical today as it was in ancient Rome. Which brings us to the margin. Financial freedom is ultimately determined by surplus capacity, the amount of income that remains uncommitted after essential obligations are met. Consider 2 people, one earning $60,000 and saving $10,000 per year, another earning $200,000 and saving $5,000. The first person is building freedom. The second is running in place, just at a higher altitude. The goal then is not to earn more, or at least not only that. The goal is to protect and expand the margin. This starts with attacking fixed costs strategically, not with dramatic lifestyle collapse, but with targeted decisions. Refinancing debt, eliminating subscriptions you don't actively value, reconsidering whether a car lease or a private school is genuinely necessary versus socially expected. House hacking, geographic relocation, and intentional downsizing are all tools available to people who decide the margin matters more than the appearance of prosperity. From there, the priority shifts to building a financial runway, 3 to 6 months of living expenses held in liquid savings. This isn't just a safety net, it's a psychological tool. Research consistently shows that once people have a cushion, their relationship with their employer changes. The desperation fades, the negotiation posture improves, the willingness to take calculated risks increases. An emergency fund doesn't just protect you financially, it changes how you think. Once the runway exists, surplus income stops being absorbed by lifestyle and starts being redirected into assets. Broad market index funds, dividend growth investments, cash-flowing side businesses, digital products, intellectual property. The distinction matters. An asset puts money into your pocket over time. A liability takes it out. Many things sold as assets, luxury cars, depreciating electronics, certain real estate purchases, are liabilities in asset clothing. The final layer is optionality, the ability to say no. Side income streams, skill development in areas with high leverage, particularly in AI, digital creation, and technology in 2025, and equity ownership in small ventures all reduce your dependency on any single employer. When you're not desperate, you negotiate from a different position. When you have options, the trap loses its grip. The salary trap is structural and psychological, and most people never see it because they're too busy working inside it. Income alone will never make you free. Freedom is built in the margin, in the assets you accumulate, in the dependencies you eliminate. The goal was never to escape work. The goal is to reach the point where you work because you choose to, not because you have no other option. Stop financing someone else's system. Start designing your own. If you found this valuable, take a second to hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you want to keep watching more content on finance, investing, and building real wealth, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.